Nittaya sadhunam vinashaya cha dushkritam dharma samsthapanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge. This verse of Sri Krishna from Bhagavad Gita explains the purposes of Bhagavan's incarnations: to protect the righteous, to correct the condemnable, and lastly to establish dharma. Bhagavan incarnates. His incarnations are evergreen for his bhakta. Parikshit was very eager to know about his incarnations, and so was Shukacharya. In Srimad Bhagavata Purana, we have discussed till the 4th canto yesterday. The last topic was on Puranjara Upakhyana, where there was an analogy given between this Atman arrested in this body and a Raja by name Puranjana. The takeaway from that episode was Avijñāta, the unidentified Brahman, is always with us. Unfortunately, we are ignorant of him. By the help of our scriptures and the preachings of our Acharya, if we identify him within us and outside us, it is then we start our spiritual progress, and eventually we end up in liberation. Said so, Shukacharya moves on to the 5th skanda. As we have already seen, Brahma's son was Swayambhuva Manu. He had 2 sons, Priyavrata and Uttanapada. In the generation after Uttanapada, we enjoyed the story of Dhruva. Anga was the son of Dhruva, Vena was the son of Anga, and lastly Prithu was the son of Vena. This Prithvi was known so because it was milked of all its treasures by Prithu Maharaja. And the last king in Prithu dynasty was Prachina Bargis, who discussed with Narada about Puranjana. Having concluded the 4th canto with the dynasty of Uttanapada, Shukacharya starts explaining the generations after Priyavrata. He was the first son of Swayambhuva Manu. Priyavrata had 10 sons. 3 of them were not interested in ruling the kingdom. There were 7 left. As any father would do, Priyavrata divided his kingdom into 7 equal portions. Although I said 7 equal portions, they were not really equal. They were different in their size and extent. The first chapter in the 5th canto, it begins with Priyavrata Charitra and how this whole earth got divided into 7 portions. He followed a beautiful method to divide this earth. Bhumi is where we live. If we assume a horizontal axis and a vertical axis about this universe, wherever we are, there is an extent horizontally. Wherever we are, it expands vertically. Vertically, there are 14 lokas, and horizontally, in Bhumi, there are 7 dvipams. The central, the middle portion, the first dvipam is Jambu Dvipam, where we all live. How were these dvipams created? Priyavrata started riding his chariot. He went in circles. When he completed the first circle, the extent of that, rather the diameter of that circle, were 100,000 yojanas. 1 yojana is equivalent to 10 miles. 100,000 yojanas would be 1,000,000 miles. So Jambu Dvipam extended in diameter to 1,000,000 miles. This was the first the central dvipam. As he was riding his chariot, it created a big hole, like a big hole which was around the circumference of Jambu Dvipa, and the extent of that hole, that pit, was also 100,000 yojanas. So the extent of Jambu Dvipa was 100,000, and the pit that formed around the Jambu Dvipa also had 100,000 yojanas. That pit finally got filled with water, with salty water. That became the first ocean to surround Jambu Dvipa. This was the first formation. Then he again started riding his chariot. It was the second time. He again went in circle. Second Dvipa was formed, and a pit was formed around that Dvipa. The pit got filled with a different material. That became the second ocean. He went in circle again. The third Dvipa got formed, and again a pit around the Dvipa. Third ocean got formed. He went again and again for 7 times and formed all the 7 Dvipas surrounded by 7 different oceans. These oceans were filled by different material. The first ocean is what we see around us, made of salt water. The last ocean is made up of pure potable water. So between the first and the last, there are 7 oceans, and the extent, it went on doubling. The size of second Dvipa was twice as of the first Dvipa. The size of the third Dvipa was twice as of the second Dvipa. So they were multiplying, they were doubling till the last Dvipa. This is what we are going to study in this chapter now. So this all talks about the horizontal axis. I am yet to deal with the vertical axis. This Bhumi is the central loka. Vertically there are 6 more lokas, and beneath Bhumi there are 7 more lokas. Bhuhu, Bhuvaha, Suvaha, Mahaha, Janaha, Tapaha, Satyam. These are the 7 upper worlds. Atala, Sutala, Vitala, Rasatala, Mahatala, Talatala, Patala are the 7 underworlds. There are 7 worlds above, 6 in fact above Bhumi, and 7 below Bhumi. Together they are known as the 14 worlds. These 14 worlds make one Andakataha. It doesn't end there. There are millions and millions of Andakataka floating in this universe. This entire universe is later engulfed by 7 more layers. We call them as Sapta Avarana. With all these millions of Andas together, take it as Prithvi. And this Prithvi is covered by a big cover. It is covered by a sheath of the next material. That is again covered by a sheet of a third material. That is again covered by a sheet of the fourth material. And those materials are, if this can be taken as Prithvi, all the Andams together can be taken as Prithvi. The next cover is up, water. Then the next cover is Agni, fire. Then the next cover is of wind, Vayu. Then the last of these is made up of ether, Akasha. Then after Akasha comes the next cover made of Ahankara. Then the 6th cover is Mahan. Then the last cover is Prakriti. We have dealt how all these materials are born from the primordial cause of creation, Mula Prakriti. Bhagavan transformed all. Finally he formed Panchabhuta. So in Panchabhuta, Andas can be termed as Prithvi. Then there are 4 more layers, Up, Tejas, Vayu, Akasha. Then there are 3 more layers, Ahankara, Mahan, Mula Prakriti. All these layers, what are the sizes of these layers? If this whole Andakataha, this universe, can be termed as one measure, it is 10 measures the next cover. Then the third cover is 10 times of the second cover. The fourth cover is 10 times of the third cover. The fifth cover is 10 times of the fourth cover. Swami Ramanuja in his Vaikuntha Gadyam beautifully explains this. He says, Chaturdasha Bhuvanatmakam Andam Dasha Gunitottarancha Avarana Saptakam. Chaturdasha 14. Chaturdasha Bhuvanatmakam Andam. This is one anda and millions of andams. Dasha Gunitas 10 times. Dasha Gunitottarancha Avarana Saptakam. There are 7 avaranas, 7 sheets that cover all this universe. Dasha Gunitottarancha Avarana Saptakam. The last cover is known as Moola Prakriti. How big is that Moola Prakriti? You cannot measure the extent of Prakriti. Swami Nammalvar, in his own unimitable style, has explained Prakriti as Shurnd, Ahand, Arnd, Uyarnda, Mudivil, Perum, Pal. Mudivil, Perum, Pal. That Moola Prakriti is boundless. It is not finite. It is almost infinite. What are the dimensions of that? We know about 2 dimensions, 3 dimensions, 4 dimensions. Alvar here talks about almost 6 dimensions. Shurnd, Ahand, Arnd, Uyarnda, Mudivil, Perum. There are 6 dimensions to this whole extent. Can you imagine a 6-dimensional figure? Even for the 3rd dimension, we need a beautiful glass. Only then we can see. But for the 4th and 5th and 6th, these are all very, very scientific in nature. Our acharyas have been very benevolent in sharing this treasure with us. So there are totally 7 sheets. The last one is Prakriti Mandala. And after Prakriti, there is a beautiful holy river. That river is known as Viraja. Viraja. Rajas is a quality which we have to get rid of. Viraja. Here is Viraja Nadi, which is already rid of that Rajoguna and Tamoguna. And what is after Viraja Nadi? Viraja Nadi is a limiting line. It's a dividing line. It divides between the playful Vibhuti, Leela Vibhuti, and the enjoying Vibhuti, Shri Vaikuntham Nitya Vibhuti of Sriman Narayana. He has 2 treasures. One Vibhuti is Leela Vibhuti, where it's created, destroyed, created and destroyed in cycles. But that Vibhuti, which never undergoes any creation and destruction, is the Nitya Vibhuti or called as Shri Vaikuntha. Shri Vaikuntha is devoid of any Rajoguna and Tamoguna. Atyarkanala Deeptam Tat Sthanam Vishnor Mahatmanaha Kshayantamasya Rajasah Parake. Whatever is the material in this material world, it is all made up of a blend of 3 gunas, Sattva, Rajas and Tamas. And that is the cause for all our problems. If it had been only Sattva Guna, then we won't suffer at all. But we are blended with Sattvam, Rajas and Tamas. Where from we got arrested into this Sattva, Rajas, Tamas? This whole Moola Prakriti is made up of Sattvam, Rajas and Tamas. Unfortunately, Saptam, Rajas, Tamayiti Gunaha, Prakriti Sambhavaha. Bhagavan Shri Krishna in Gita confirms, from Prakriti are born 3 important children, Sattvam, Rajas and Tamas. They are so entwined with and they are so much in connection with Prakriti that any product of Prakriti is under the influence of Sattvam, Rajas and Tamas. Are we all not products of Moola Prakriti? That is a primordial cause. Even Prithvi, Apu, Tejasu, Vayu, Akasham are a product of Moola Prakriti. Our body is a product of Moola Prakriti. So what would happen? If I make a pot with mud, it will be full of mud. If I weave a cloth with cotton, it will be a cotton cloth. If I make a chain of gold, it will be a gold chain. If I am made by Prakriti, I will be a Prakrita Tattva. I am made of Prakriti, so I will be Prakrita. Means what? If Prakriti is under the influence of Sattvam, Rajas and Tamas, I would also be under the influence of same Sattvam, Rajas and Tamas. But the very interesting fact to be remembered here is, everything in this material world is Prakritam. But there is one which is Aprakritam. What would you understand when I say Aprakritam? Which is not a product of Prakriti. Is Aprakritam. We are all products of Prakriti, so influenced by Sattvam, Rajas and Tamas. We have to find some object which is not under the influence of Sattvam, Rajas and Tamas. It must be Aprakritam, Divyam, but in this material world. Everything in Sri Vaikuntham will be Aprakritam. I am not talking about that, because Sri Vaikuntham is beyond Prakritam, beyond Prakriti. So anything in Sri Vaikuntham will be Aprakritam. But I am talking about Prakrita Bhumi. In this Prakrita world, there must be something that is Aprakrita. Can anyone guess? Atma. Jivatma is Aprakrita, because he is not a product of Prakriti. Or the body is a product of Prakriti. Was Jivasma ever made? He is eternal. He is Nitya. He was not created at all. So even in this Prakrita Mandala, we can feel very proud that you, me, everyone, millions and millions of Atma are Aprakrita. But unfortunately, since we are bound by the Sharira, we misbelieve that we are also Prakrita. We start conducting ourselves as Prakrita, but we are not. We are Aprakrita. And where do we belong to? We don't belong to this world at all. Since we are Aprakrita, our place should also be Aprakrita Mandala. For any Prakrita Tattva, the place has to be Prakrita Mandala. So we are an odd man out in this world. But there are millions and millions of odd men now, not one or two. There are millions and billions of odd men. Everyone must one day or other realize that we are a misfit. We are a mismatch to this world, because I am an Aprakrita person, whereas this world is a Prakrita Bhumi. How do I fit? Now, what are the characteristics of a Prakrita Bhumi? Influenced by Sattvam, Rajas, Tamas, and there will always be an upheaval, ups and downs of Sukham and Dukkham. You can only enjoy Sukha blended with Dukkha. We all certainly know, if I laugh for a couple of days, I am sure to cry for 4 days to continue. That much we are sure. If I cry for 4 days, yes, of course it will end, and I will start laughing. I am happy for 2 days to continue. But if at all I want that, forever I must only be happy. Forever I must be satisfied. If I get to that mode, this is not the place for that, because that is possible only in Sri Vaikuntha, because cause for misery, cause for pain is the lust and conducting ourselves guided by Rajoguna and Tamoguna. If we conduct ourselves guided by Sattva-guna, then we will only enjoy. But it's all a blend of Sattvam, Rajas and Tamas. So to achieve that I enjoy happiness always, where should I be? I must be in a place which is not influenced by Rajoguna and Tamoguna. That is the place beyond Viraja. I was just explaining to you why the name Viraja is very, very significant. It is devoid of Rajoguna. Beyond Viraja is Sri Vaikuntha. How big that world would be? We have already seen the material world is so big. How big? It was first millions of anda, and then on covered by 7 bigger, larger and larger covers. This whole extent is just immeasurable. It is so big. All these together makes one portion. Sri Vaikuntha is 3 portions of this Leela Vibhuti. Upanishad Purusha Sukta says that Sahasra Shirisha Purushaha Sahasrakshas Sahasrapad Sabhumim Vishwato Vrutva Atyatishtat Dashangulam Purusha Yevedagam Sarvam Yat Bhutam Yacha Bhavyam Utamritat Tvasenanaha Yadanhe Natirohati Yetavanasya Mahima Padosya Vishwa Bhutani. This Bhuta Vishwam is Pada. Pada is a quarter. Padosya Vishwa Bhutani. Tripadasya Divi. Tripad is 3 quarters, 3 times the measure of this Leela Vibhuti. So Sri Vaikuntham is thrice bigger. Leela Vibhuti is 1 measure. Together 3 times and 1 time together is the treasure of Sriman Narayana. Padosya Vishwa Bhutani. Tripadasya Amritam Divi. Tripadurdhva Udait Purushaha. And that Bhagavan dwells in his eternal abode Sri Vaikuntha. I have to cross this river Viraja, enter Sri Vaikuntham. I shed my material body in this world itself. Then to travel through the long distance and reach Viraja Nadi, I assume a subtle body, because I have to travel. To travel, you need some body, some form. So I take a Sukshma form blessed by Bhagavan. I travel rapidly. so quickly and reach the banks of Viraja Nadi, take a holy dip, shed that subtle form even, enter Shivaikuntha and be blessed with a aprakrita form. That is when I get an aprakrita form. Even Vaikuntha, I have a form. That's an aprakrita form. But I am not limited by that form. I can assume any aprakrita form on any day I want. If I have to serve Bhagavan as a bed, I can take the form of a bed. If I want to help him as a lamp and give him light, I can assume the form of a lamp. Shendral Kudayam, Irundal Singadhanamam, Ninnal Maravadiyam, Nilkadalulendum Pudayam, Pulhumadayam, Pum Pattam, Tirumarka Aravu. Adiseshan assumes countless forms to serve Bhagavan there. And we also can enjoy the same when reaching Shivaikuntha. So, this is what we need to understand from these chapters. Let me go through, read the passages from this. In the first adhyaya of the 5th canto, he talks about Priyavrata dividing this Bhuma Devi into 7 portions, and he bequeaths the 7 portions to his children. Bhadamuktam Bhagavata Uttama Shlokasya Shrimad Charanaravindha Makarandarasa Aveshita Chetasaha Shivatamam Padavim Na Prayena Hinvanti. Priyavrata was a great king. He had 10 children, but 3 were not interested in ruling. So Priyavrata thought, let me divide my bhumi into 7. They were known as Samajavena, Rathena, Jyotirmayena, Rajanimapi Dinam Karishyamiti, Saptakrutvaha. This was divided into Saptadvipavati Prithvi, into Saptadvipa. The most central one was Jambu Dvipa. Let me read through the names. Jambu, Plaksha, Shalmali, Kusha, Krauncha, Shaka, Pushkara, Samnyaha, Tesham, Parimanam Purvasmat, Uttaraha Yatha Sankyam Dvigunam. Dvigunam is twice that of the earlier one. If the first one is 100,000 yojanas, the second multiply by 2, 200,000. The third multiply by the 2, 200,000 into 2, 400,000. Again multiply by 2, 800,000. Thus it went on for all the 7. These 7 dvipams were surrounded by 7 oceans. Ksharoda, Ikshurasoda, Suroda, Ghrutoda, Kshiroda, Dadimandoda, Shuddhodaha, Sapta Jaladhayaha, Sapta Dvipa Parikha, Ivabhyantara Dvipa Samana, Ekaikasyena Yathanupurvam Saptaswapi Barhishu. Srimad Bhagavatam and Vishnu Puranam, they provide valuable information on this universe. The middle word is Bhumandala. Middle meaning, in the vertical axis, the middle world is Bhumandala. This was divided into 7 dvipas by Priyavrata. They are Jambu, Plaksha, Shalmali, Kusha, Krauncha, Shaka, Pushkara. Jambu Dvipa is 100,000 yojana big, and each of the latter are twice of the former. These dvipas are surrounded by 7 oceans. Each ocean is filled by Ksharoda. Ksharodam is the ocean which we see. It is of salt water. Second was of sugar cane juice, Ikshurasoda. The third one was made of liquor, of arak. Fourth one was filled with ghee. Fifth was filled with milk. That is what we popularly call as the ocean of milk, Kshirabdhi. So it surrounds the 5th dvipa. Then the 6th one made of curd. The last one made of pure water, Shuddhotaka. Thus Priyavrata divided this bhumi.